Welcome to Sense of Style. I'm Stuart. 8 perfect fragrances. And if you watch the channel regularly, you know that I like to do themed videos. Things like best fragrances for mature men, best fragrances for fall, that kind of thing. And I find that when I do themes, often there's a couple of fragrances, one or two, that really stand out, that really are perfect for that particular theme. That's what I'm talking about today. There are 8 different themes that I'm going to be going through. Pick the perfect fragrance for each specific situation. In some cases, I didn't even use the fragrance that I use in the actual video because I found something better. You're always trying, experimenting with new scents. So yeah, 8 perfect fragrances for specific occasions. Fragrance number 1, this is Lum Idial Eau de Parfum by Guerlain, and this is the perfect fragrance for introverts. I am an introvert, so I know what I'm talking about here. I bought 30 fragrances this year. This is my favorite purchase of 2024, but I've been trying to figure out. I've worn it a few times. I'm trying to figure out, why is it that I like it? Most people talk about the cherry note, how it's fantastic. I think it's more than that, because this is a vanilla leather fragrance that doesn't behave like one. And I know this because I have the Eau de Toilette. I've had it for 3 years, and it's so different. The Eau de Toilette is very strong, very powerful, and very sweet. This is sweet, but it's more of a classy vanilla. And I don't really pick up much leather in this at all. But it's dialed back, so it's very sweet. It's mixed with the cherry and the almond really nicely. It's introverted because it only seems to project like a couple of feet. It's not something that's going to blow people out of the water. If you're an introvert, you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. If people get in your personal space, they'll be able to smell it very clearly. It's very pleasant. You spray it on your neck, you're going to notice it. But you're not going to announce to everybody, hey, I'm wearing this fragrance. Overall performance is really good. I mean, it's 6 to 8 hours in terms of longevity. Again, projection lasts a long time, but it doesn't seem to go, it could just be in my head, but it doesn't seem to go more than 2 feet. It's a reasonable length. Awesome. Fragrance number 2, this is Creed's Royal Oud, and this is the perfect signature scent. If I had a full bottle of this, no question it would be my signature scent. Because when you're looking at having a signature scent, you want to be distinct. You want it to be something that not everybody wears. And Aventus has lost that. I mean, it's a Creed, so it's expensive. It's hard to get. But Aventus has lost that because so many people wear it. This, on the other hand, I think is even better than Aventus. But either way, this one is a little bit on the outside. It's still modern, but it's also very different than what a lot of people are wearing, which is a lot of sweet fragrances. So this one is a woody, musky scent, right? It's nothing like the 60s and 70s, that old school stuff. It's nothing like that at all. It's musky, woody. It has green facets and it has spicy facets. It's called Royal Oud. It is not an oud fragrance. Let's talk about the woody part first. So there are 3 woods. There's sandalwood. You get a little bit of powderiness. Cedar, which is the most prominent woody note, and oud, which really is in the background. They called it Royal Oud for marketing reasons. It's not an oud fragrance, and oud wouldn't be good to be a signature anyway. Then it has musky component. It's got musk and angelica, which is a musky herbal note. The herbal aspect of angelica works with the galbanum to give it kind of a green feel, and then you got the spicy pink pepper. I mean, it's all blended well together. It smells very distinct and very different. There's not a lot of things out there in the market. There's no clone, legitimate clone that I'm aware of with this. It would be fantastic signature. Fragrance number 3, this is Hanae Mori's Hymn. And this is my favorite work of art fragrance. It's a perfect work of art. It's actually a clone, but a really accurate clone of Gucci Borum 2, which is now going for like $400. This clone, 100 milliliters of this on eBay, it's been discontinued, is going for like well over $100. That's how good it is. The beautiful thing about this, the reason it's a work of art, is because it does the same kind of thing that Fahrenheit did, but with a more popular DNA. So Fahrenheit is fundamentally a leather fragrance that is ozonic, like airy. So it's an airy leather fragrance. It's something that nobody had ever tried What they did with this was, and what Gucci Boramtu did was, they took a warm, spicy, sweet fragrance and they made it ozonic, right? So you get the ozonic quality comes from the violet leaf. It's very, very clean, it cleans everything right up. So there's a ton of violet leaf to go with the warm, spicy, and in this case, it's cardamom, black pepper, and cinnamon. And then the sweet element is tonka and amber. But all of that is so much light, and there's some woods in this as well. They're masterpieces. Fragrance number 4, this is Serge Lutens Chergui, and this is a perfect evening fragrance to wear. Now, it is a very sweet fragrance. It is very dark and very rich. I mean, just look at the juice. This is the darkest juice that I have. And its darkness comes from tobacco and incense, 2 very dark, rich notes. But it's also super sweet. And sweet is fine or easier to wear in the evening when it's cooler because it comes off as less cloying. So the sweetness is done a little bit differently here. You've got amber, hay, and honey. So it's not like vanilla or tonka. It's a different kind of sweetness. It's still very, very sweet. I regularly get 12 hours with this. I hate saying that because it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic, but I do. It's super strong. And even though it's niche, it's not crazy expensive in terms, it's great in the evening. Fragrance number 5, this is Scent Intense by Costume National, and this is a perfect fragrance for a gentleman in so many ways. The main way, though, is that it has solid projection, right? You spray 5 on your neck, you are going to notice it for a good 2 hours. But again, it doesn't seem to go beyond that. It's not like an in-your-face fragrance. This is a fragrance that I've also called Amber Intense because this has so much amber. It's one of the fragrances where if you want to know what amber is, buy this. The sweetness in here is all amber. There are 2 different kinds of amber. There's the regular kind and crystal amber, but it's just packed with it. But it has other elements too, and it's very distinct and very different. So the other element that's really important is a warm spiciness. You get cinnamon, you get tea, and then there's a spicy hibiscus note that makes this very distinct. Hibiscus is a flower, but it's a very spicy flower, and in a masculine way, too. So you get that spiciness. There's some woods in here as well. And the performance, I mean, between 4 and 5 hours, which is fine for an eau de toilette, but the projection is nice. Not going to go too far. Makes you smell like a gentleman. Makes you smell distinct. Makes you smell a bit different. Be a gentleman. Fragrance number 6. This is Givenchy Gentleman Society Eau de Toilette. And there is not a better designer fragrance for a mature man that I have smelled than this. There may be some niche ones, but not at the designer level, not at a price range like this. But it's a very high quality, perfect fragrance for mature men because it perfectly balances a mature element with a modern element. So you can still be mature, but you're not going to smell old. Basically, it is a woody aromatic, but it has some sweetness, namely vanilla. And when I first sprayed this, I rolled my eyes. I really rolled my eyes because all I got was this burst of vanilla, and I just thought, oh, God, here we go again. Fortunately, the vanilla dies down very, very quickly. Like 3 or 4 minutes, it's died down. But it's there. It stays there at like a reasonable level of sweetness throughout. So it is there. And then the woody aromatic, there are 3 woody notes here. The aromatic quality comes from sage and narcissus, which is like a green floral. So those 2 work together to give that. And then the secret weapon here, though, is cardamom. So cardamom and vanilla are both very modern notes, right? So you get the woody aromatic on one side, the cardamom and vanilla on the other, and it's going to smell modern, but it's still mature because it's a woody aromatic. I don't know. I adore this fragrance. I'll be getting a bottle. I guarantee it. Because I don't know if you've noticed, I am a mature man. So anyway, this is the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Parfum is a little bit stronger. There are 2. I had a couple people tell me, oh, you're mixing them up. I am not. There are 2 different versions. I'm only talking about the EDT. Perfect for mature men. This is Thierry Mugler's Purehavan. And this, not only is this the perfect fall fragrance, This has been in every single fall video, I think, every single fall video I've ever done. Because this is not a fragrance you want to wear in any kind of warmth, because it is a tobacco gourmand. It is just not suited to any kind of warm weather. So as soon as it starts to cool, you break this one out. You want proof? It has vanilla, a lot of it, but it's not just vanilla. It also has a warm resin, which is labdanum. It has honey. It has a chocolate note as well, because it's got patchouli mixed with cacao. So that's chocolatey. So all those sweet notes, and it's got tobacco as well. So it is a tobacco gourmand. It's a very sweet, very gourmandy fragrance that was so sweet when I first got it. I got it in the midsummer. I didn't like it. And then I wore it in the fall. It's great. Fragrance number 8, Lattafa's Khamrah. There is not a better inexpensive gourmand on the market. And you know what? Quite frankly, there's nothing close to this in terms of being, I believe, an original inexpensive gourmand, because comparing this to Angel Share is a stretch. You know, it's quite different. There's no booze in this, so it can't really be an Angel Share clone when Angel Share, I mean, it's part of the liqueurs line. There's no liqueur in this. So to me, this is original. It was kind of hacked to make it look like Angel Share. Another thing I like about it, though, is it actually is a gourmand. It's just not like a regular fragrance where they throw gobs of vanilla at it and call it a gourmand. No, this has real gourmandy notes. It's got pralines. It's got cinnamon and nutmeg. It's got 2 warm resins. It's got dates. Like, it's got some real gourmand notes here. And it's phenomenal performance as well. Yeah, this one was easy. It was easy. Anyway, yeah, these are all perfect fragrances for situations. And, yeah, I mean, some of these fragrances are just, I don't know, they're joy to talk about. I love them so much. Thanks for watching.